So tell us either of your testimonies and how kind of music has helped you get to the testimony.
Yeah. Well, I grew up in a pretty musical family, and was force-fed like playing music and listening to lots of different music from a pretty early age. And it probably took me 10 years to like love playing music, but eventually I did, and kind of just pursued that like throughout high school and played in a bunch of different bands. And it led me to moving to Sydney, Australia, where it's our church, Hillsong Church. And I was studying and just kind of started serving in our youth ministry straight away. And after doing that for a few years, eventually was kind of like a time where we just needed songs for our youth ministry to sing. And a bit of a challenge, you might say, was put out to our whole youth ministry, leaders serving kind of on the worship teams and all that stuff. And like a few of us just kind of, a lot of people put their hand up and just, tried writing songs, and we're kind of some of the blessed few that are here to represent us and have written a lot of the songs. And
is it cool to have seen that growth of, starting out doing the Young and Free group, you know what I mean? And like now the growth of, there's tons of subscribers on YouTube I was seeing, it's like, it's done well.
I mean, it's so amazing. It's been like, I guess we've been doing this for like 5 or 6 years, and it honestly feels like 5 minutes. And I know like people say that all the time, but yeah, it's really just been a testament to, I think, like God's goodness. And we have worked hard and made sacrifices along the way to be where we are, but like ultimately it really comes back to we've just been so blessed to be where we are, and God's obviously had His hand upon this snowball effect of where we are today.
And doing kind of shows along that line, have you heard great stories of people who have been impacted by some of your songs?
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, it's pretty unbelievable, because it's like the music literally reaches, the nameless to the big names, to the famous. Like we went to, was it Manila, where we went to the Philippines. We went to some slums, and we went really like to a place I feel like we would never have found ourselves otherwise. And there was these kids that decided to sit us in this like cardboard box practically, with bunged up instruments, and just started playing our songs back to us. Wow. And we were like, we had no idea that our music would reach to like all these places, and it's the biggest honor. And it's definitely God. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I do think what's so cool is like every person in the world is very accessible today. Like, I'll just open up my Instagram or whatever and see like people sending me messages, and like from big miracles, like, some pretty incredible like family situations, health situations, to even just testimonies of people being like, I was at one of your events, or I was listening to your music, and like I'm feeling like God freeing me from anxiety and depression and things like that. And so from like, the biggest things to all that, like it's pretty, like we just love, like we get to hear these testimonies all the time.
Yeah, and for like, I think it's awesome that you guys are, specifically geared toward youth, and today I think that there's a lot of like hardships that are on youth today. Are there like encouraging words you would want to say, just kind of in general, or?
Well, our message is pretty straightforward, and it's very virtually like in the name that we're like free in the name of Jesus, and like called to live like a young, like this youthful, fun, full, vibrant life, and ultimately through the songs, through the message of everything we've tried to write in every album, and we are working. We finished up our 3rd album, and it feels like the natural progression. And I guess, I mean, ultimately, I would want to say that life with Jesus is like better than life without. Like, and in saying that, it's it's not a life that we're missing out on things like for this, but it's actually more full, it's better, like it's more fulfilling in this way. And we're really excited for people to hear the songs that are coming out, like even our newest single that we just put out on Friday, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Friday. Yeah. It's called Let Go. And that's really, I think, a story that a lot of us can relate to, is that like we try so hard to make stuff happen. Like I know for me, it's just like so often when I'm going through whatever circumstance and situation, and I'm just like, I can handle this, I can fix this, I can take care of it. And it's like, I think more often than not, it's always in that like moment that we finally just go like, I'm just gonna let go of this and trust that God is gonna take care of it. And it's always, and I mean, it always works out that way, that you're just like, I wish I did this sooner. But like, just finally, but we, we're all there, and we all finally get to that place of trusting Him, and He's going to work it out for the best. And so that song, and I think this album is, our testimonies and our story of, God kind of doing that.
And kind of, because you said you write the lyrics. So in writing it, are you letting go kind of the hardships that you're going through, or whatever kind of emotional thing you're going through, or
totally
does it help?
Totally. And that's the cool thing I think about this record especially is, our first couple records, and especially our last one, was an album called Youth Revival, and it was super audacious for us to be like, we're believing for revival in young people, and I guess like what comes with that and what came with that for us was hardship and and stretching. And in stretching is often where we really find God in those places. And this album is really, like the story of that, like where God has taken us, the journey that we've been on in and through all that. So, and sometimes those songs are, for other people, and sometimes, the songs that come out of that are, just it's our as songwriters, it's our time with God as well. And it's our intimate time, and some songs that people will never hear. But it's ultimately, it's not wasted worship, because we're growing and we're stretching.
Yeah. Well, I got to listen to some of it and I loved it. So tell us what day it comes out, or June it comes out.
I actually sometime June. I'll be honest, I don't know.
Okay, it's the end of June. It comes out.
So we're gonna look forward to it at the end of June.
Summertime.
Yeah.
Summertime fun.